Long before his number was called, the alien officer was already watching him LT. Keth Varun locked the targeting reticule on the human induction center. His fingers danced across the console. The stealth drone ejected from the orbital pod with a silent puff of plasma. Grainy feed flooded his viewport. Humans milled in gray fatigues under harsh floodlights. The center sprawled across a dusty plain, barracks, firing ranges, razor-wire perimeters. Keth's ventral fins twitched. Official first contact loomed in 72 cycles. His mission profile threats before the military's shook claws. He synced the drone's camouflage field. It phased through a chain-link fence undetected. Recruits drilled on the range ahead, clutching bulky rifles. Keth zoomed in. Humans moved with raw energy, no elegant symmetry like Vexari squads. A recruit fumbled his weapon. The rifle jammed mid-drill, bolt stuck, round half-chambered. The instructor barked orders, recruits froze. One human stepped forward. Lean build, dark hair cropped short. He snatched the rifle without a word. Fingers probed the ejection port, a twist, a slap on the mag, the bolt cycled smooth. He handed it back. Drill resumed. Keth froze the feed. Subject flagged, he muttered to his log. Designate Evan Rook. Disassembled malfunction in 4.2 seconds. Human average, 28 seconds per database. His chromatophores flushed amber caution. No Vexari trainee matched that under stress. He pinged the drone, reposition over Rook. The craft hummed forward, cloaked in thermal baffles. Rook jogged to the next station, obstacle course laced with sim grenades. Humans shouted encouragements. Push it, Rook, contacts inbound, can't have jams screwing us. Keth's translator chip rendered it crisp. Their language barrier crumbled under brute force algorithms. He noted the urgency. Humans raced readiness like cornered prey. Rook vaulted a wall, landed rolling. A sim grenade popped, flashbang haze. He emerged blinking, scooped a sidearm from the dirt, and cleared a malfunction with a thumb flick. Fired 3 rounds center mass on the pop-up target. All hits. Keth's log auto-flagged anomalies. Adaptive repair under duress. Precision fire post-disruption. He cross-referenced Vexari quals. Even elite recon lagged in chaos. Humans treated jams like breathing. Director Savek's Neryl's comm chimed. Varun, preliminary threat profile, now. Keth hesitated. Director, subjects exceed baseline. Request extended observe. Clean report. No attachments. We profile primitives, not adopt them. Savax cut the line. Keth's fins clamped tight. Protocol demanded upload every 12 cycles. He overrode the timer. Drone priority, track Rook through security checkpoints. The feed shifted. Rook finished the course, sweat-streaked but steady. He queued at the first checkpoint, biometric scanner, armed guards. A recruit ahead triggered alarms, false positive on implants. Guards swarmed, rifles up. Down hands! The recruit panicked, bolted. Tasers cracked. He dropped, twitching. Rook stood calm. When his turn came, he placed his palm flat. Scanner beeped green, no flinch. Guard nodded. Clear, Rook, commanders waiting. Keth leaned in. No elevated vitals, ignores peer threat. Vexari squads drilled fear responses out over cycles. This human normalized it. Drone tailed Rook down a corridor. Steel doors hissed open to a briefing room. CMDR. Salma Ibera paced inside, compact frame, sharp gaze, stripes on her sleeve marked command authority. Rook, sit. Ibera slapped a tablet down. First contact drills, aliens inbound, your quals put you on point team. Problem? Rook dropped into a chair. No, ma'am. Just fix what's broke. She eyed him. Smartass, that jam on the range, you cleared it blind. How? Feels off in your hands, twist the lever, smack the base, works every time. Ibera snorted. Every time, hug, gear up, sim bay next, show me. Keth's console beeped, drone at 87% power. He routed auxiliary cells. Risky. Detection meant abort. In the sim bay, Rook donned a harness. Hollow threats spawned, angular ships, energy lances. Human tech lagged Vexari by decades, but the sim screamed realism. Contact, Ibera's voice boomed. Drones swarmed the projection. Rook dodged left, fired suppressed bursts. A drone clipped his shoulder, harness jolted him. He rolled, yanked a field knife, slashed a control node on the next. It sparked out. Flank right, he yelled to virtual squadmates. They pivoted seamless. Keth's analysis overlay spiked. Improvises melee on aerial drone, coordinates without comms. Vexari doctrine banned, blades near power cores, explosive risk. This human turned weakness to kill shot. Ibera paused the sim. Damn, Rook, you're wasted on recruit line, point on first greet team. Affirm, ma'am. Rook peeled off the harness, no brag, just wiped sweat. Keth's fins quivered, every metric shattered profiles. Humans weren't brute aggressors, they adapted. Relentless, calm chimed again, Savax. Report upload overdue, transmit. Keth stared at the draft. Subject Rook demonstrates anomalous competence, recommend elevated threat status. He deleted the line, rewrote. Subjects within expected parameters. Minor mechanical aptitude noted, no strategic variance. Fins burning, he hit send, partial truth. Hid the timestamps, rerouted drone logs to his secure cache. Why? Protocol screamed flag threats, but Rook solved without ego, no posturing. In 48 cycles, Vexari fleets met humans. Misprofile them as weaklings and surprise turned lethal. Savex replied, adequate, maintain distance. Keth exhaled vents, distance. He tasked the drone to shadow Rook's bunk. Power dipped to 62%. Detection odds climbed. Rook entered the barracks. Bunkmates ribbed him. Heard you knifed a drone, Rook. Alien bait? Fixed it. He rummaged a kit, tuned a squadmate's boot knife, edge-honed mirror-sharp in 10 strokes. Keth zoomed, precision under banter. Humans bonded through utility, not hierarchy. Alarms blared on his console. Drone proximity alert, human sensor sweep inbound. He yanked controls. Drone evaded, cloaked deeper, but a subroutine lagged. Human radar pinged it. In the feed, Rook's head snapped up. He crossed to the window, eyes narrowing at empty sky, pointed. There, glint off that cloud. Bunkmates laughed. Your imagination, man. Keth's vents seized. Rook saw through baffles. At 2 clicks, he pulled the drone vertical, escape vector engaged, but Rook didn't laugh. He watched the sky calm, practical. Keth locked the feed. Heartbeat thrummed his plastron. This human spotted the invisible and said nothing. Protocol broken, oversight lied to, but now he needed more eyes on Rook before contact ignited. Drone safed in orbit. Keth cued a second pod drop, risk everything. One human demanded it. Keth punched the power modulation sequence. Lights in the human barracks stuttered, dipped to 40%. Emergency reds flared across bunks. His second drone hovered at 500 meters, feed crystal clear. Panic metrics primed, scream thresholds, scatter patterns, fight or flight spikes. Humans crumbled under blackout stress. Models predicted chaos. Evan Rook didn't flinch. He dropped his kit mid-unpack. Blackout drill, lights out protocol. His voice cut through groans. Bunkmates froze, one cursed. Not now, Rook. Evan ignored him, grabbed a glow stick. Cracked it, green glow lit his face. Comms first, squad, check lines. Keth leaned into the console, no screams, no stampede. Rook moved like he'd scripted this. Drone audio picked up heart rate steady. Humans followed, one slapped a panel, nothing. Evan knelt by the main junction box. Prybar out, lit off in seconds. Wires frayed, Evan said. He scanned with a handheld light, pulled spare from his belt, thick gauge, insulated, stripped ends with boot knife, twisted, soldered with a pocket torch. Flame danced precise. No shake, power flickered back. Comms hummed alive, barracks cheered. Rook saves the day again. He waved it off, packed his kit. Just procedure, next time check your own lines. Keth's vents hissed. He pulled threat model overlays. Human panic baseline, 87% disarray in 20 seconds. Rook's squad, 4% deviation. Organized, repaired, no match. Models flagged aggression or collapse. This, adaptation. He keyed subroutines, cross-checked against 47 xenopsych profiles. Null results. Humans didn't profile. Director Savex's channel pinged. Report anomaly, Varun. Power logs show your signature. Controlled test, Director. Subject response. Inconclusive. Keth muted before rebuttal. Savex wanted clean threats, not puzzles. Drone feed stabilized. Rook bunked down. Lights dimmed proper now. Keth tasked closer approach. 200 meters, cloak at max. Scan for biometrics, heart rate baseline, sleep cycle. Threat potential hid in routines. Evan shifted under his blanket. Eyes open, stared at ceiling, no panic residue. Keth zoomed mandible servos. Human jaw clenched once. Relaxed, practical calm, like the knife sharpened earlier, utility over fear. CMDR, Salma Ibera burst into the barracks, boots echoed. Rook, debrief now. Her voice snapped like a whip. Squad snapped alert. Evan rolled out, saluted crisp. Ma'am. Power glitch, you fixed it solo. Ibera's eyes bored in, no praise, test. Spare wire, ma'am, comms priority. Evan stood easy, no brag, she nodded once. Good, full readiness drill at 400. First contact sims ramping, aliens inbound, we don't glitch. She eyed the squad. Dismissed. Evan returned to bunk. pulled a tablet, reviewed schematics, human tech, crude alloys but modular. Keth noted Ibara pushed limits, tested underlings, loyalty through work. Keth edged drone to 100 meters, risky, human sensors itched at edges. Feed caught Evan glance up. Again, skyward, Keth's claws tightened, impossible, alarms spiked. Counterscan inbound, human array swept the perimeter, drone pinged, exposed 3%. Keth yanked evasion, vertical burst, cloak cycled, but lag hit. Scan locked, Evan bolted up. Contact. Perimeter breach. He hit the bunk intercom. Sensor team Vector 290, glint confirmed. Barracks mobilized, lights blazed, Ibara's voice boomed over speakers. Scramble intercept, drones up. Keth sweated coolant. Drone strained at 80% thrust. Human radar painted it. Locked tone in feed audio. His override kicked. Jam pulse. Drone broke free, cloaked into clouds, safe. Barely, Evan stood at the window, watched the sky empty, squadmates high-fived misses. False positive, he shook head. No, something's watching. Calm, no report up chain. Kept it squad level. Keth slumped. Heartbeat thrummed plastron, second near loss. Rook orchestrated counter without orders, predicted incursion, humans layered defenses, instinctive, his models shattered, no panic, no blind aggression, procedure always procedure. Console chirped, third drone pod ready, Savex overrode. Aboard observation Varun pull data, threat assessment due per contact, no attachments. Keth hesitated, attachments, data lied already, Rook fixed what broke, saw what hid, cooperated without knowing. Trust flickered in Keth's core processors. Aliens excelled at stealth scans, long-range psyops. Humans, improvised under fire, fixed the field. He tasked the third drone drop. Low profile. Shadow Ibara's command deck next. See how she pushed, how Rook integrated. Contact loomed, fleets 48 hours out. Mutual suspicion primed war. One human rewrote the odds. Evan lay back, closed eyes, but Keth caught the hand under pillow. Gripped that knife. Ready, Keth exhaled, risk everything. Observation turned to alliance, or first contact burned. Drone deployed, descent silent, barracks below oblivious. For now, Ibara's office lit up on split feed, she paced. Rook's glitch fix bought us time, but scans are hot, aliens probing. Her aide nodded. Recommend full cloak, ma'am. No, mirror it. Send our probes reciprocal. Ibara tapped console. Human drones launched, crude but numerous, swarmed the sky. Keth's primary station blared, incoming signatures, human counterprobes, his grid lit with pings, evasive patterns auto-engaged. But one human drone clipped his orbital relay, signals stuttered. Evan's voice filtered through hacked barracks audio. Probes away, track any tails, squad affirmed. They jammed frequencies on the fly. Spare parts jury-rigged boosters, Keth cross-referenced again. Human tech, low-tech resilience. Alien superiority, precision cloaks AI predicts, but humans adapted faster, no match. Savex calmed direct. Varun, cease, you're compromised. Negative director, data shows cooperation vector. Keth fed prelims. Panic test passed. Scan evasion, human initiative countered. Bond potential high, silence. Then revise profile but distance, officer or recall. Keth cut link, watched Rook settle. Human exhaled slow, like venting heat. Practical to the core. Drone synced, 50 meters now. Close enough for thermal. Rook's heat signature steady. No fear spikes, only readiness. First contact accelerated, fleets closed, suspicion mutual, but Keth saw bridge. One comm human built it, step by wire. Alarms wailed anew. Human fleet signal burst. Observer craft detected. Hail frequencies open. Keth's console locked. They knew not position, but presence. He keyed response. Careful. LT, Keth Varun reconnaissance, observing protocols. Ibara's face filled screen. Stern. CMDR, Salma Ibara, your probes tripped our nets. State intent. Threat assessment. Keth's vents cycled. Exposed. She leaned in. Assess this, fix our grid, we talk. Rook's got the wire. Evan stepped into frame, nodded once, knife sheathed, kit ready. Keth froze, trap sprung, his own test reversed, human procedure answered. He tasked drone toolkit deploy. Spare power cell, dropped to their grid. Cooperation ignited, fear flickered out, fleets held vector, contact held breath. One bond sealed it. Keth dropped from the ridge, cloaking field shimmering off dew-slick rocks. Boots hit soft earth 20 meters from the human perimeter fence. Drone signal pulsed weak, exposed, power cell depleted after the grid fix. He couldn't leave it, not with fleets vectoring in at Mach 3. Pulse rifle slung low. Scan visor cycled, no patrols in Sector 7. Human tech lagged on stealth harmonics. He cut the fence with a vibroknife, monofilament edge-parting alloy like foil, slipped through. 50 meters to drone nest, tucked in a drainage ditch. Alarm stayed silent. Good. Director Neryl's recall order burned in his comms buffer. Distance officer. But data screamed otherwise. Human Rook had bypassed Keth's evasion net, fixed the grid, earned the bridge. Keth crouched at ditch edge. Drone lay half-buried, lens cracked but core intact. He reached, footsteps crunched gravel behind him, human gait, steady. Keth spun, rifle half-raised. Darkness swallowed details. Only thermal bloom, one figure, core temp 37.2 Celsius. Unarmored, closing fast, flashlight beam stabbed his visor. Blinding white. Keth's vents hissed, cloaking overload. He dropped prone, signaling non-threat, palms out, rifle tossed aside. Gotcha! Human voice calm, no shout. Beam pinned Keth's chest plate. Something metallic glinted beside it. A field wrench, heavy gauge, gripped like a club, not a gun. No alarm klaxon. Keth froze. One twitch and that wrench caves skull. Human stood 3 meters off, stance wide, no panic sweat on thermal, heart rate steady at 72 BPM, extraordinary. He keyed throat mic. Universal gesture first, hands high, slow nod, then subvocal, surrender. No escalation. Translation chip ejected from vambrace slot, held it up glowing blue, human beam dipped to the chip, paused. Alien scout, accent clipped, practical, English baseline, chip would sync, Evan Rook had to be. Keth's profile matched, 1.85 meters, lean build, tool belt loaded. Take it. Keth pushed chip forward on open palm. Voice modulator hummed English. LT, Keth Varun, reconnaissance, drone recovery, no harm. Rook stepped closer. Wrench stayed ready. Snatched chip, slotted it into his collar implant. Eyes narrowed, pupils dilating in beam scatter. Why sneak? We fixed your toy, coulda asked. Protocols. Keth rose slow, matching Rook's height. Humans smelled of oil and sweat, working scent. No fear pheromones, fleets close. Assessments mutual. Rook's gaze flicked to drone, back to Keth's visor lenses. Assess this, you're on our dirt, hands where I see 'em. He thumbed comms, no base-wide alert, private channel. Commander, got your ghost, perimeter 7, bringing him in. Keth's vents cycled relief. No brig escort, trust vector spiked 40%. Move! Rook jerked wrench toward path. Flashlight swept ahead, revealing razor wire curls and sensor pylon. Keth complied, rifle left behind. Human competence, improvised weapon, situational de-escalate. Aliens drilled for plasma volleys. Humans, wrenches and comm. They hiked 200 meters. Base loomed, prefab bunkers, human fighters squatting on tarmac like grounded birds. Engines hot, ready. Rook stride 8 ground, no wasted motion. Keth scanned covert, human augment low-grade, neural lace probable, but baseline endurance topped Keth's specs. Why wrench? Keth tested. Voice even, Rook snorted. Nearest thing, guns escalate, you dropped yours quick, smart. Profile revision, humans read intent via micro-gestures. Keth surrender ping registered. Cooperation baseline, not exception. Hatch hissed open at command module. Bright lights stabbed. CMDR, Salma Iber awaited inside, arms crossed. Dark hair pulled tight, uniform crisp. Flanked by 2 Marines, rifles low, but safety's off. Rook, her voice snapped. Report. Caught him at the drone, ma'am, offered this. Rook tossed chip to her. She caught it one-handed, slotted, no blink. Ibera's eyes locked on Keth, stern lines etched face. Varun. Your probes lit our grid like fireworks. Then you patch via drone. Explain. Keth stood straight, vents even. Threat profile, humans unknown, fleets inbound, yours from Sol Relay, ours from Verge Prime. Director demands clean report. She leaned on console. Human fleet hollow flickered, icons converging on neutral point. Clean, you tripped us, we fixed you, now you're here. Glanced to Rook. He alone? Affirm. Keth noted her push, test allies with work. Drone data shared, your recruit bypassed my net, initiative high. Ibera's lip twitched, approval. Rook's got that, fixed our outage too. She keyed panel. Sitrep Director Neryl, Keth's comms lit. Superior's face overlaid, scaled ridges taut, eyes narrow. Officer Varun, compromised position, recall now. Negative, Keth cut in. Cooperation vector confirmed, human assets integrate. Neryl's vents flared. Attachment risk, profile as threat. Profile revises. Keth fed live feed. Rook stowing wrench, Marines relaxing barrels a degree. Panic test, Rook contained breach without alarm. Bond potential operational. Silence stretched. Ibara watched, unblinking. Rook leaned against bulkhead, arms loose, waiting. Nerral hissed. Data review, hold vector, no attachments. Link dropped. Keth exhaled vapor. Ibara nodded once. Fix our grid permanent, your tech. Then we talk fleets. Goal clear, conflict, Nerral's leash. Outcome, work seals it. Keth unpacked drone toolkit from thigh pouch. Power cell slotted into human console. Rook slid beside, handing fiber optic probe. Here, weak node, synced seamless. Human fingers danced keys, pattern recognition alien fast. Keth's algorithms meshed, boosting throughput 300%. Grid stabilized, fighters hummed acknowledgement. Done, Ibara checked readouts. Fleets hold at 0.8 light minutes, hail open. Keth's visor pinged, Verge fleet query. He patched through. LT, Varun, human assets cleared, no threat vector. Rook clapped his shoulder, light pressure, camaraderie. Skin contact registered, warm, steady pulse. Keth stiffened, no protocols for touch. Humans bridged via contact, physical trust. Ibara extended hand. Deal, Keth gripped, firm, deal. Alarms blared anew. Console flashed, anomaly spike, neutral zone, not fleets. Unknown signature, Rook leaned in. Third party, Keth scans word, energy bloom, hostile profile, raiders, fleets blind. Ibara's eyes hardened. Work time. Varun, he nodded, bridge held, one calm human forged it, now survive the interlopers. Ibara shoved a plasma wrench into Keth's primary gripper. Jury-rig the jammer counter, earn your stay. Keth's sensors locked on the tool, human alloy vibro-edged. He slotted it into the flickering sensor node beside the main console. Sparks danced. Raider signatures bloomed on the tactical overlay, 12 corvettes, cloaked until now, slicing through the neutral zone at 0.9 C. Rook crouched low, fingers flying over auxiliary controls. Evan Rook, auxiliary gunner, locking ventral turrets. His voice stayed level like ordering chow. Keth's algorithms churned. Humans profiled as fragile, impulsive. Yet Rook anticipated node failures before diagnostics flagged them. Extraordinary baseline resilience. Ibara pinned a laminated badge to Keth's carapace. Visitor status, prove intent or your blindfolded cargo. She spun to her station. All hands battle stations, fleets hold fire till ID. Keth torqued the wrench, circuitry meshed. Jammer pulse neutralized, Raider's stealth peeled back. His visor overlaid vectors, interlopers targeted both fleets, human and Verge alike. Director Nerral's link pierced the chaos. Extract now, Lieutenant. Subject contaminated, report en route. Keth muted audio pickup. Submitted partial scan. Human grid reinforced. Raider intercept viable. Operational value high. He patched drone swarm schematics to Rook's panel. Deploy these, flankers. Rook nodded, no hesitation. Dragged the files into launch queue. Drones rocketed from bays, Verge microseekers, human-coded trajectories. Perfect sync. Raiders fired first. Plasma lances scorched human frigate shields. Bridge shuddered. Shields at 72%, Ibara barked. Varun, your read, Keth's optics word. Ventral weak point. Signal Rook hand code Theta 7. He extended secondary limbs, demonstrated, closed fist, 2 taps, thumb circle. Rook mirrored it instant, turrets swiveled. Human lasers carved a Raider's engine nacelle. Wreckage bloomed, Nerral overrode mute. Lieutenant. Acknowledge extraction. No bonds, Keth blocked the channel. Negative, asset integration yields 87% intercept success. Link severed. He exhaled vapor trails. Human touch lingered from earlier clap. Warmth imprint defied protocols. Rook leaned in, visor to visor. Your drone saved my ass. Quick lesson radio brevity. Fox 3 means missile away. Tango down for kill, repeat. Keth's vocoder clicked. Fox 3. Tango down, he relayed to his swarm. 2 raiders vaporized. Ibara glanced over. Good, now patch fleet comms. Mutual suspicion ends here. Keth fed Verge encryption keys to human relays. Fleets lit up, joint fireplan auto-generated. Human admirals queried, then locked in. No debate. Raiders pivoted, targeted the bridge carrier. Torpedoes inbound, 20 seconds. Rook grabbed Keth's arm plate, steady pull to cover. Down, shrapnel pinged bulkheads. Keth analyzed, protective reflex, human norm not anomaly, yet pulse steady under fire, no adrenal spike beyond 20%, explosion rocked them, consoles smoked. Ibara hauled up. Status. 4 raiders left, Keth reported. Scanned routines, Rook already rerouting power, fingers blurring. Pattern, predictive maintenance intuitive. Humans solved entropy as reflex. Nerral's emergency ping, abort. Human leverage fabricated. Evac shuttle inbound. Keth smashed the reject. Director data confirms collaboration optimal, bond potential operational. He forwarded kill tallies. Link went dark. Rook slapped his back. Nice block. Signals working. Demonstrated. Palm out. Fingers wiggle. Hold fire. Keth copied. Relayed to Verge pickets. Human fighters peeled off. Covered drone flank. Raiders broke. Last corvette warped out trailing plasma. Silence fell. Alarms reset to standby. Ibera straightened. Fleet's intact. Neutral zone secure. She eyed Keth. Badge stays. Next task, full tech exchange. Keth's processors logged it. Observation shifted. Fear recoded to utility. Humans underestimated solvers. Rook extended fist. Bump for luck. Keth hesitated. Grippers bumped. Contact registered. Alliance metric peaked. Director Neryl's final hiss echoed in buffer. Report full profile. No exceptions. Keth deleted it. Profile revising. Bridge hummed. Fleets held vector. First contact accelerated. But scans pinged faint. Raider debris field anomaly. Not empty. Rook noticed first. Incoming probe. Hours. Keth zoomed. Alien sig. Neither human nor Verge. Third player watched. Ibera's hand hovered weapons. Varun. He gripped the wrench tighter. Together. Rook grinned. Humans smiled under pressure. Another anomaly. Sensors spiked. Probe decloaked emissary drone broadcasting parley code. Unknown origin. Bridge tensed. Trust tested anew. Keth signaled Rook. Thumb circle. Ready. Human nodded. Practical. Calm. Fleets waited. Cooperation held the line. Probe hailed. Interloper collective greets defenders. Terms. Ibera deferred. Your call, observer. Keth processed. Humans yielded control. Trust extended. He replied. Terms viable, joint scan first. Probe complied. Data flooded. Collective raiders repelled, but Vanguard inbound. Rook whispered codes. Fox 3 on my mark. Keth integrated. Humans bridged gaps with brevity. Aliens with precision. Neryl's override breached. Extract imminent. Comply. Keth jammed it permanent. Negative. Victory profile updating. Ibera smirked. Loyal already? Rook taught final signal. Crossed arms. All clear. Keth mirrored. Bond solidified. Probe docked. Protocols initiated. Cultural exchange forced. Fleets maneuvered escort. Suspicion thawed. Keth observed Rook reroute power flows. Routine human fix. Boosted probe interface 150%. Seamless. Aliens excelled at stealth webs. Humans at improv chaos. Combined, unbeatable. Director's shuttle blip vanished from scopes rerouted by Keth's backdoor. Observation complete. Humans not threat. Partners. Probe hatch cycled. New alien stepped through, scaled, finned, collective scout. Defenders, it rasped. Alliance, Ibera nodded. Work first. She tossed it a wrench. Rook chuckled. Keth gripped his. Cycle repeated. Trust forged in fire. Fleets closed ranks. First contact, united. Blasts tore through the comms shack's outer wall. Shrapnel pinged off Keth Varun's exosuit. He dropped low, mandibles clicking in alarm. Evan Rook lunged. The human recruit seized Keth's arm pauldron. Move! He yanked Keth behind a toppled console. Keth's primary optics word, scanning the breach. 3 figures in void black armor advanced. They sliced external links with plasma cutters. Base-wide comms flatlined. Evan crouched beside him. Sweat beaded on the human's brow, but his hands stayed steady. He ripped a panel from the console. Wires sparked. They're jamming everything, Keth hissed through his translator. His 4 arms flexed, deploying a micro-drone from his suit's ventral port. It zipped toward the ceiling vents. Evan nodded once. No panic. He scavenged scrap metal from the debris, a bent strut, shattered antenna shards. Field relay. Hold this. He thrust a jagged rod into Keth's grip. Keth stabilized it. Evan twisted wires with bare fingers, insulated them against his skin with a strip of insulation foam, routed power from the console's backup cell. The attackers fired suppression bursts. Blue energy bolts scorched the walls. Keth's drone feed flickered. The intruders deployed signal dampeners. Human tech signatures mixed with something alien. Too clean, too familiar. Evan soldered the last connection with a scavenged arc lighter. He jammed the rig into a ventilation shaft. Antenna up, ping the commander. Static crackled, then Ibera's voice cut through. Comms shack, report. Evan keyed the mic. Rook and observer, shack compromised, external cut, internal relay live. 3 hostiles inside, more outside. Keth's secondary processor raced. He patched his drone feed into the relay, magnified the attacker's gear. The plasma cutters hummed at 47.2 kilohertz, his fleet's standard frequency. Armor plating etched with micro-runes, Keth's own reconnaissance corps. His mandibles locked, traitors or orders from above. Director Neryl's clean threat report demanded proof. Humans as monsters, this raid fabricated it. Evan glanced at him. You good? Keth hesitated. Exposure meant career end. Surveillance network, dozens of stealth nodes woven into the base would light up. But Ibara's forces held the line, cooperation or annihilation. He overrode his encryption. Commander Ibara, LT, Varun, attackers carry Vexari tech. My fleet's signature, this is internal purge. Silence stretched. Blaster fire intensified outside. Ibara barked. Proof, now. Keth flooded the relay with drone data. Schematics streamed, rune patterns, frequency logs. His nodes activated across the base, ghost signals betraying their positions. Hidden cams in barracks, sensors in the mess, eavesdroppers in the armory. Evan's eyes widened fractionally. He covered it with a reload on his sidearm. Confirmed, Ibara snapped. Varun, your gold. Rook, flank left, observer, mark targets. Keth's interface synced. He projected overlays on Evan's HUD. Wait, the human had patched in manually. Nodes revealed 8 more hostiles circling the perimeter, 2 at the east gate. Evan moved first. He cracked the cover door. Slid out low, double-tapped a knee joint on the nearest intruder. The figure crumpled, armor venting plasma. Keth followed, his railgun whirred to life. He tagged 2 more with EMP bursts, their suits locked. Evan dragged a fallen cutter, repurposed it as a breaching tool. Gate's ours. They pushed forward. Ibara's squad linked up 5 humans in tactical gear. She nodded at Keth. No words, trust in the data. A hostile sniper pinged from the ridge. Evan shoved Keth aside. Returned fire blind through a gap. Hit. Keth's sensors locked the origin. Elevated position, Vexari stealth cloak. Evan grinned faintly. Borrow your drone? Keth dispatched it. Feed shared. Evan lobbed a grenade. Human chem mix, volatile, cloak shattered, sniper exposed. Ibara's team mopped up. Last hostile fled toward the tree line. Keth's nodes tracked it to a cloaked shuttle. Director Neryl's mark, Keth murmured. His override pinged extraction order. Ignore, Evan clapped his shoulder pauldron. Nice net, saved our asses. Keth retracted the drone swarm. Nodes went dark one by one, exposed, vulnerable. But the base held. Ibara approached, rifle slung. Varun, you burned your cover for us. Duty revised. Keth met her gaze. Humans radiated calm under fire, routine. His profiles shattered. She handed him a secure tablet. Fleets inbound, parley code broadcasting. Your call on the probe. Evan leaned in. Thumb circle if ready. Keth processed, simple signal. He circled his thumb. Evan nodded back. Alarms blared anew, not hostiles. Vanguard signatures, legitimate fleets. But Neryl's shuttle blinked on scopes, incoming hot. Keth jammed the channel. Data surged, collective raiders repelled. His side's vanguard pushed forward. Ibara smirked. Loyal already? Evan crossed his arms. All clear. Keth mirrored it. Bond locked. Probe hailed from orbit. Interloper collective greets defenders. Terms. The base tensed. Trust teetered. Keth signaled ascent. Joint scan first. But Neryl's override breached his personal link. Extract now. Terminate observation. Keth purged it. Victory profile updating. Evan whispered codes. Fox 3 on mark. Precision met improv. Fleets closed, probe docked, hatch cycled, scaled figure emerged, finned, collective scout. Defenders, it rasped. Alliance, Ibara tossed a wrench. Work first. Evan chuckled, Keth gripped his own. Director's blip vanished, Keth's backdoor, observation complete. Humans, partners, shuttle engines roared overhead. Neryl's voice crackled through jammed static. Varun, betrayal confirmed, purge authorized. Keth raised his railgun, fleets maneuvered, first contact ignited. Keth's railgun snapped up. Neryl's shuttle screamed past the docking bay, thrusters scorching the hull. Varun, respond or die marked traitor. He ignored the crackle. Fingers flew across his wrist link. Priority override engaged. He tagged Evan's profile, low-risk auxiliary, falsified timestamp. Containment deferred. Data beamed to the Vanguard net, clean, untraceable. Evan crouched beside him, rifle braced. Your boss? Affirmative. Keth scanned scopes. Raider signatures flickered at the perimeter. Collective stragglers probing weak points, not over yet. Ibara barked from the command node. Rook, countersweep, take Varun, secure that breached device before it pulses again. Evan nodded, slung his pack. On me. He moved, fluid and unhurried. Keth followed. Humans stridate distance, no wasted motion. They hit the outer corridor. Alarms pulsed red. Raider drone hummed ahead, fist-sized, finned, scanning for vitals. Evan signaled halt. Thumb circle, ready? Keth mirrored it, trust signal locked. Evan unclipped a stun grenade, rolled it smooth. Drone twitched. Flashbang popped silent. Field scrambled its core, it dropped inert. Keth's sensors pinged. Clean capture, no structural damage. Profiles updated, human non-lethal precision, extraordinary restraint. Device secured. Evan bagged it. Intel gold, footfalls echoed. Ibarra's team rounded the corner. Human Marines geared heavy, one raised weapon. Contact Raider Mimic, Evan spun. The Marine's sights locked on Keth's flank, shadow play from a flickering panel, misidentified silhouette. Keth lunged, stepped between. Negative, observer allied. Evan shoved the barrel aside. Stand down, Hale, that's our 6. Marine blinked, lowered rifle. Sorry, sir, looked scaled. All clear. Evan clapped Keth's shoulder, casual, protective. Humans normalized chaos. Keth's link buzzed. Narrow's override pierced the jam. Mark Rook priority containment. Now. Or Vanguard fires on your position. Pressure mounted. Fleets closed on scopes. Collective probe docked firm. Scout finned and waiting. Ibarra tossed at the wrench. It caught, tested heft. Worked. But Narrow's shuttle circled back. Lock-on tones rose. Keth hesitated. Observation protocol screamed terminate. Data said partner. He purged the order again, reclassified the breached device as human salvage, bought minutes. Evan eyed him. You good? Adjusting. Keth gripped his railgun tighter. Side picked, no retreat. Ibarra's voice cut in. Rook Varun Bridge, scouts hailing joint command, raiders inbound heavy. They sprinted, corridors blurred. Keth's fins itched under armor. Humans ran ergonomic, no fatigue flags. Bridge doors hissed. Collective scout rasped from the hololink. Defenders hold. Raider mothership vectors in. Share scans. Ibarra leaned forward. Data swap, then coordinates. Evan patched the captured device. Streams flowed. Scout's fins flared approval. Clever disable. Resonance trap bypassed. Keth monitored. Human improv meshed alien tech seamless. Profiles rewrote. Underestimated ingenuity. Narrow's shuttle docked hard. Clangs echoed. Boots stormed the outer hatch. Intruder alert, a Marine shouted. Ibarra spun. Lock it down. Too late. Director Savek's Narrow burst in, flanked by enforcers. Scaled, crested, pistol drawn. Varun treason logged, subject termination. Keth raised his railgun, aimed center mass. Negative director observation yields alliance data. Narrow's crest flared. Falsified logs, priority target unmarked. Evan stepped forward, calm, hands open. He's with us. Captured your raider toy intact. Narrow sneered. Human lies purge all. Enforcers advanced. Ibarra's team bristled, rifles cycled, Scout's voice crackled. Standoff waste cycles, Mothership Ada 5 marks. Keth's mind raced. Careful watch turned conviction. Evan's routine solved cascades. Fear flipped. He fired wide. Enforcer stumbled. Non-lethal pulse, human trick borrowed. Chaos erupted. Evan dropped 2 with precise shots, kneecaps. Ibarra wrench-whipped another's pistol. Scout hurled a tool from orbit feed, distracted the third. Narrow lunged at Keth, claws out. Betrayer, Keth sidestepped, locked arm, pinned. Data confirms humans viable, raiders common threat, Narrow snarled. Politics demand clean report. Evan loomed, zip-tied the enforcers. Report this, we just synced fleets, scopes lit. Vanguard and human signatures merged. Collective probe pulsed green. Mothership veered, joint fire locked. Ibarra smirked. Results over reports. Narrow sagged in Keth's grip, defeated. Keth released him, watched Evan coordinate the final push. Human crossed arms, all clear. Keth mirrored, bonds sealed, but enforcer backups pinged incoming. Narrow's purge call echoed fleet-wide. Keth's link flared. Vanguard command, Varun explain deviation. He typed fast. Humans, low risk, partners, data attached, fleets fired as one. Raider mothership bloomed silent on scopes. Silence fell. Scout rasped. Alliance holds. Narrow glared. You'll answer for this. Keth met Evan's gaze, thumb circle, ready for fallout. Evan nodded. We got you. Bridge doors sealed. External chatter rose, parley teams inbound. First contact protocols lit. But Keth's personal scan pinged. Enforcer shuttle undocked. Stealth vector. Purge drone armed. Narrow smiled thin. Not over. Keth raised railgun again. Side chosen. Notice imminent. Evan leaned in. Fox 3. Keth gripped tight. Mark. They moved as one. Trust forged in fire. Raiders repelled. Betrayal hunted. Contact burned bright. Ibera slammed the conference table. Briefing now on record, Varun, you first. Keth holstered his railgun. The Enforcer shuttle's debris still sparked on external scopes. Evan's missile had gutted it mid-stealth. Nerral slumped in restraints beside the table, Enforcers zip-tied to bulkheads. Joint crews manned stations, human techs synced with Vanguard analysts. Scopes showed Raider remnants fleeing. Fleets held formation. Keth stepped to the hollow projector. His claws tapped controls. Raid footage bloomed, cloaked vessels hitting neutral colonies, signatures matched. Zorath Enclave, they provoked this, pushed escalation, falsified human aggression data. Ibera leaned forward. Her eyes locked on him. Proof, Keth overlaid intercepts. Nerral's purge codes flashed. Director Nerral coordinated, Enclave allies embedded, humans countered raiders clean, synced our fire lines, Nerral hissed. Lies, Varun defects. Evan crossed arms at Keth's flank. Calm. No boast, scopes don't lie, your drone targeted us both. Crew murmurs rose, human analysts nodded at data streams. Vanguard scouts cross-checked. Matches confirmed, Ibera silenced them. Varun, state your assessment. Full record transmit to both commands. Keth met her gaze. Pressure built, his link pinged oversight queries. Assumptions cracked under Evan's steady presence. Humans profiled as threats. Revised, cooperative, raider common enemy. Recommend joint ops. Nerral rattled chains. Treason, Ibera ignored him. Rook, Evan shrugged. We patrol the fringe, joint. Varun liaises with me, test the sync. Keth's vents cycled, volunteer, human initiative again, routine for them, extraordinary yield, Ibera nodded. Approved, gear up, clocks ticking, first contact, parley in 4 cycles. Crew dispersed. Evan clapped Keth's shoulder plate. Grab your kit, my dropship. Keth followed, corridor hummed with prep. Humans welded armor plates, Vanguard techs calibrated shields, Evan stridate distance. No rush, just purpose. Dropship bay thrummed, Evan vaulted into the cockpit. Strapped in, liaison seats yours, sensors hot. Keth linked in, human interfaces meshed seamless. Hot, fringe vector clear, Evan punched throttles, ship lurched free. Raider stragglers pinged, we flush 'em. Void stretched. Scopes painted contacts, Zorath scouts probing merged fleets. Evan's hands danced controls, evasive weave, no waste, Keth tracked. Flankers incoming, 3. Evan banked hard. Fox 2, your rail on the lead. Keth fired, bolt punched vacuum, lead scout vented. Humans called it ordinary. Keth's grid logged precision beyond Vanguard norms. Evan loosed torpedoes. 2 down. Clean, your data sealed it. Keth's link flared. Oversight demand, report deviation. Purge authorized, pressure mounted. Nerral's echo, politics clawed back. Patrol looped. Fringe station loomed, neutral outpost, raider scarred. Evan docked smooth. Ground check, you scan, I clear. Airlock hissed. Station corridors dim, flicker lights. Wreckage strewn, Evan swept point, rifle low. Motion aft. Keth's scanner pinged, Zorath holdouts. Armed, 5 enclave marks. Evan signaled breach. Keth covered, human kicked door, suppressed fire barked. Holdouts dropped, no collateral. Evan cuffed survivors. Interrogation bait, your faction. Keth relayed codes, prisoners cracked fast. Enclave plot frame humans ignite war, Evan hauled them. Ibra love this, transmit. Keth hesitated, link burned, final choice, back aboard, Evan prepped next leg. Your call, liaison, Keth typed, fingers steady, humans not problem, our assumptions are, data full. Recommend alliance, transmit locked, no recall, Evan glanced. Bold, Keth vented relief. Necessary, scopes lit anew, parley beacons flashed, first contact fleets converging, but enclave signatures massed beyond fringe, war clock ticked, oversight silence deafened. Ibera's voice crackled. Return, Nerral spilling, bigger play. Evan throttled up. On it. Keth gripped console, observation ended, representation began, enclave armada bloomed on grid, incoming, Evan's voice cut calm. Weapons free, Keth armed rails, free. Fleets merged tighter, parley held, but shadows gathered, trust tested now. Claws in, humans at side, ready, dropship accelerated, enclave lead ship decloaked, massive, torpedoes hot. Evan's countermeasures flared. Keth targeted weak joints, hits landed true. They're splitting us, Keth said. Evan rolled ship. Not today, he punched comms. Vanguard human sync fire pattern delta. Keth relayed, grids aligned, joint barrage ripped enclave flank. Station feeds poured in. Ibera's teams boarded Nerral's logs, purge network exposed. Vanguard command broke silence, Varun affirmed. Stand down, enforcers. Relief surged, but Enclave pressed. Mothership loomed, Evan eyed Keth. Your move, Keth locked core shot. Together, Rails spat. Human missiles trailed, core breached, Mothership listed. Evan whooped soft. That's how we do it. Dock clamps engaged, bay doors sealed. Ibar awaited, flanked by crews, narrow and deeper hold now. Report, she said. Keth stood tall. Enclave rooted, data transmitted, alliance viable. Evan nodded beside, no words needed. Parley countdown hit 0. Contact ships docked, bridges linked. But Keth's scanner whispered residual Enclave signatures, deep stealth, not over. Evan leaned close, thumb circled, signal locked. We hunt, Keth mirrored. Hunt, Ibarra smirked. Gear up, represent us both. Fleets held breath. War clock reset, trust forged, first contact dawned under fire. Keth moved with Evan, no observer now, partner. Enclave ghost stirred, rails charged, humans led charge, aliens followed. Bond unbreakable, scopes pinged, final wave, massive, incoming fast. Evan grinned. Round 2, Keth raised weapon. Locked, they launched as one.